The Giants aren't going to be able to have full pads until we get to training camp, so there's not really a whole heck of a lot physically we can learn about the offensive line and OTAs, followed by the mandatory minicamp in mid-June. What we will be able to take away, though, is just how open to the possibility Ben McAdoo and the coaching staff is to kind of mixing things up on that offensive line. We weren't at OTAs for the first one on Monday, but the team, had their social media stuff. They sent out some photos. One of those photos revealed that DJ Fluker was working as the second-team right guard. Draft pick Adam Bisnowaty was working at the second-team right tackle, which leads you to presume John Jerry, incumbent, started at right guard, started there with the first team. Ereck Flowers and Bobby Hart in the tackles. Justin Pugh at left guard, Weston Richburg at center. Now look, DJ Fluker's a guy who has experience playing tackle in San Diego. He's a guy that a lot of fans have been saying, well, naturally he should just replace Bobby Hart. That's not the plan for the Giants. The Giants plan to start him at guard. They really seem to want Bobby Hart to win that job at right tackle. Obviously, Ereck Flowers at left tackle. They're hoping for big improvement from those guys in their third seasons. Could Fluker factor in at right tackle? I think it's possible, especially if Hart falters. But you got to remember something. They are pretty set in the fact that they want those two young tackles to improve and to stay there. And they seem to think Fluker's a guard. I know that necessarily the numbers don't pan out. It looks like he probably played better at right tackle as opposed to right guard in San Diego, but they think he's a guard. But that's the big thing, is how open are they going to be to mixing up with guys like Fluker and Bisnowaty and maybe even undrafted free agents like Chad Wheeler and Jessamine Dunker. Remember, last summer, McAdoo was insistent that Marshall Newhouse and Bobby Hart were competing for the right tackle job, and we really never saw a competition. Hart rarely, if ever, took any snaps with the first team, and Newhouse kind of won the job pretty easily going to the season. Eventually, Hart got the job when Newhouse got hurt, and they kind of bounced back and forth the rest of the year. But again, last year there wasn't a whole heck of a lot of competition for this offensive line, and they didn't really seem to force the competition. This year they seem to be stressing competition, and I think that's the big takeaway we're going to get in OTAs and minicamp is how much competition they sort of facilitate. Is it just kind of a earning thing, a merit system with the on-field play, or they continually cycle guys in and out to try to get the best mix of five players that make this offensive line? Because look, offensive line is very important to the Giants in 2017. So that's what I'll be looking for at OTAs and minicamp. How do they use the guys, who shuffles in and out, and how much competition do they try to generate in advance of training camp?